All right, and we're back. This segment, we're going to talk about history again, staying on the same theme of looking at history and all the contributions that everyone has made to history. And the importance of history is not just to highlight what African Americans or black people have done or what white people have done, but there have been many contributions to history. And what we're missing out, we don't know what we're missing out on because a young person may not have been inspired to do something yet. So we're not going to make it to Mars. That's one thing. We're not going to make it to Mars until we inspire people by teaching people about their history. And I know, you and I have done research on, many different things that have to do with history. And one of the things that is very intriguing to me has to do with black wealth. And one of the figures, earlier figures in black history is they called him the Prince of Darkness, and it wasn't because he was very dark.
I don't want to do. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, don't do it. So they called him the Prince of Darkness, and he was Gotham City's first black millionaire. Gotham City is New York City, and he was a millionaire in the early 1800s. So even before the fires, the great fires of New York City, he had an office on Wall Street, okay? Wow. And this guy, he added to his fortunes because after the great fires, he bought up a bunch of land in New York City. And he wasn't an angel. By no stretch of the imagination was this guy an angel. But I'll say, name one Wall Street businessman that's successful that's an angel, whether it was in the past or today. All right, you're not going to find
there's
no,
so not him. Definitely not him.
One of the cool things about this guy is, he fought with the Vanderbilts, tooth and nail. They had respect for each other, but he fought with the Vanderbilts. And I mean, speaking of fighting, he also introduced people to his hands.
In other words, he's like, you can catch these hands.
Yeah, you can catch these hands. He fought people after court. But again, this is back in the day when they had lynch mobs and fighting and using and being uncivilized, in somewhat
I
civilized.
shouldn't be laughing, but it's like I see it now. You don't want to give me that land, you're gonna catch these hands.
Right. So he's just somebody, and his real name is Jeremiah Hamilton. You could look him up. He was a cool dude. I would definitely check him out, especially finding out that during, and this is also pre-Civil War times.
Right.
So
that's huge.
This was a huge thing. And then one of the other things I found out about, but I know Andrew knew a lot about, was the founder of...
Oh, Chicago. Yeah, what's up, Chi-Town? How you doing? I'll be there this weekend. But no, just understand the history of DeSable.
Yeah.
And just the fact, a person of color, I want to say of Haitian background, and was one of the most well-known and most profitable trappers, of animals and things along those lines in that part of the Mideast, Midwest. And he was the person who is really held responsible for settling the area that we now know as Chicago. And once again, very prominent, very well known. And what sometimes happens is people don't like people for certain reasons. And to make a long story short, he was actually forced out of the city. But what's so ironic, we look at the DeSable Institute and some of the other museums and what have you that, quote, celebrate it, it's like they celebrate him finding it, but they don't necessarily talk as much about what happened to him afterwards. And I think that, and I know it sounds crazy, but that ties in with the number of reasons, looking back at one of our other segments, why history is so important, and understand not only that there are people that persevered through different things, but they created and established a lot of things, but we won't know because a lot of times in the standard curriculum it's not there. So when you think about, like we talked about in another segment, different books to look at, different resources are out there, museums, go explore and go beyond this month. And I think that's one of the things that we talked about where Black History Month is definitely important. Seriously, it is. But part of the beauty of it is it set the template in regards to what are other ethnic groups or even gender to recognize. So when you think about Women's History Month,
right,
when you think about Hispanic Heritage Month, they follow the same template that basically Carter G. Woodson did in regards to, we know there is a canon of history, contributions, firsts, discoveries, innovations that people have done, but it's not always talked about and reported in your mainstream or core content or core text.
Right.
So just like with Carter G. Woodson's goal of let's go beyond, let's use this time to highlight, but let's go beyond and learn these stories of DeSable, of Jeremiah Hamilton,
Toussaint.
Short, like not only just here in the U.S. but abroad, and let's look at other ethnic groups, people with Spanish-speaking backgrounds, not just Mexico and South America. Hello, Spain, let's try there. Women, seriously, women, other groups, that people bring something to the table, and just because they don't look like and sound like you doesn't diminish what they're capable of doing when given a fair and reasonable opportunity. So hopefully that's one of the takeaways that people have.
Definitely. And we'll be back after this.
Sounds good.